Can I switch the camera around? You hold on to it for a minute. I'll get on here.
Yeah. All you gotta do is
hit it.
All right, waiting for people. Oh, we got one person. It's probably my wife. Any takers? Anyone? Yep, it was the wife. So guys, excuse it. It is the first time for me being live, not only in general, unless you include the collaboration with VCJ, which I hope they'll be on later. But yeah, we're just we're gonna work on brining that very shortly. Hopefully we can get some people. You know, it's a lovely... oh, there's the wife. It's a lovely little impromptu live. Hopefully somebody will hop on. If not, it's an easy way to make a video, right?
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Okay, well, I don't know what everybody's doing today, but... you guys get to meet my cat. This is one. This is Peanut. All my animals are named after food. Right, Peanut? Peanut. Yep, there he is. Now he's worried because... oh, we got somebody else. And there's my wonderful child right there. That's a dog you always hear barking in the back of my videos. His name is Bailey. So, I know you guys don't really think Bailey is a food name, but it is. It's Bailey Irish Cream. So, yeah. He's a liqueur. And trust me, he's rough just like liquor is. Right, puppy? Say hi. Say hi. Just waiting to hopefully get a couple more people on. Let's find my other cat. Let's see where my other cat is. Oh, there he is. And here's my other cat. His name is Jelly Bean. Yeah, they're all food. I like food. As you can see, he has a little... oh, okay, he's yawning. As you can see, he has a big tumor. Unfortunately, he has cancer, but he's still a very good cat. So, is there anyone else out there since we lost one?
What?
We lost somebody. Or the only body.
I'm still there.
Oh. Number one. Only one.
Only one. Don't pick my nose.
All right, well, let's get started. Worst comes to worst, it'll be my video for the week. So, we're going to start with a basic brine and how I brine my chicken. I also brine my pork almost the same way. It's really simple. My pork, I use apple juice. When I do my chicken, I just use some seasoning. As you can tell, it's already in water. I normally put it in water just to loosen up some of the stuff, and then I go through and I clean everything out, all the loose little tidbits. And then I drain the water. I basically just flush it out, and then I actually get to the main brine that'll leave in the refrigerator overnight. Whenever possible, I normally brine for 2 days at least. It just makes it real nice and tender. It helps break down the fats and a few other things, and it gives it flavor to them. You know, because everything that you put in there is going to be things that are like a little bit of garlic. Some people use garlic powder. I like to use a fresh garlic. I'll use a vinegar. Some people use white vinegar. Some people, depending on whatever it is, I like to use apple cider vinegar. It gives it a little bit of a sweetness, along with helping break down the all the different fats and everything. So now I'm going to come over to my sink that I didn't have a chance to get all my dishes done. So, but hey, this is my everyday life. So I'm going to take this, put that over on the counter. And you want to make sure that you use cold water whenever you do this. I was soaking it in the fridge for a couple hours when I came home from lunch. And now dinner time, so. Basically, we just go ahead and you have this extra skin that's on here. We get off whatever we can of that, because you don't really want that. So you can normally tell because it's like a bright yellow. So I just rub it off. More of it will come off as it brines longer. So that don't taste good. It's kind of like when you get sunburn. Just peel it all off. You don't need it. So I'll just get off the big pieces that want to flake off. I'll give it a good rinse. You know, from all the... If you get it fresh, there's still going to be blood in the cavity of the chicken. If it's frozen, you're still going to have blood in the cavity. I want to make sure that there's not any bone fragments or anything.
Sorry.
I want to get all the extra feathers off. I'll put them in the sink and clean that up later. So, that was a good one. All right. Give it another rinse. Make sure that there's nothing, you know, like any of the big pieces of fat and everything. I'll leave that in there because I'm going to be roasting this one.
Throb says hi.
Hey, Throb. How you doing? You get to see what I like to do beforehand before I actually cook it. I like to get all this lovely, I don't even know what it's called out of there.
Extra.
Yeah, it's extra. You know, and like I said, I keep rinsing it out. I make sure that it's thawed before I start. I get all the chunks of fat that are stuck to the bottom of the carcass out of there. Give it a rinse. And then if I was going to be putting this in my smoker, I would get all the extra fat and all that stuff and I would tuck it in. I wouldn't take it off. I'll do another live video on all this fat that's here. I would leave all that in there if I would put it in my smoker because it helps keep it moist the whole time. But if I'm going to do it in the oven, I'll cut it all off, but I'll put it in the pan because that's going to help with the drippings for when I make a gravy for it. And yes, I'm going to add butter to it. So, we're pretty good there. We're just going to take this, we're going to dump out all this water.
Throb says, wanted fried eggs this morning. Didn't have time, so I watched your video instead to satisfy my urge.
That's kind of a good way, but doesn't that only work with, like, going out to, like, drive your Type R? You get to watch somebody else drive it when it's bad weather?
Next best thing, I guess.
Yeah. So now we want to make sure that we use cold water because we don't want to heat up our chicken. We don't want it to go bad.
Throb, did you have anything else with your non-breakfast, or just watch the eggs?
Could have watched my scrapple too. You could have had scrapple and eggs. So I'm going to go ahead and flush this one more time and dump it, just to make sure anything that was in there I'm going to get rid of. Now I'm just going to let that run in there, and make sure that when you get done touching raw meat that you wash your hands.
He said, yep, some non-bacon and non-toast.
Oh, non-bacon and non-toast. All right.
Krista Greenbean says, hi, Edge and Courtney. Hi.
Hey, Krista, how are you? So we're going to want to cover this probably about an inch or two above what the chicken is, because you want to make sure that if there's an air pocket in there or anything, that it doesn't start to float, and then you end up with a dry spot on your chicken, and that's not good. So I'm going to set this off to the side and wash my hands, because I just had raw chicken. Now I got to get out my salt, my pepper, my garlic, my onions, and all that kind of stuff. Because we don't want to cross-contaminate everything as much as possible. When I put this pot in, when I put the pot in the refrigerator overnight, I'm going to make sure I put a towel down so I don't cross-contaminate my refrigerator. So, because as you can see, it was probably in a little bit of raw chicken water. So that way it'll help.
Krista said, doing good, watching you work your magic in the kitchen.
Thank you. So I'm going to put this on top of the stove. I'm not going to cook it. Just want to get over in an area that's a little bit more conducive for video. The lighting in here is horrible.
So Rob said that he's on his way out. He's going to catch us on the recorded version. He's got to go make a video. So bye, Rob. Have fun.
I'm glad you tried tow haul mode. That was I was waiting for that video, and I'm glad Krista liked it and forced you into it.
Thanks for stopping by.
So I like white pepper and black pepper, just because I don't know. There's something about white pepper. You can tell a difference. You can tell a lot more when you use it in like smoking, something that you're gradually heating. I'm also going to use hickory smoked sea salt because I want to give it a little smoky flavor. So I'm going to use some of that along with regular salt. I'm just going to use probably about a teaspoon of it. Sprinkle that in. And then I'm going to...
Sorry about the dog. He's crazy. He does not like the pepper grinder.
Put in some black pepper. You could grind in salt, but since we're going to be using a lot of it to help break down and render the fat, I'm just going to grab my coarse sea salt. You don't have to use the fine stuff because it's going to dilute itself. I'm actually going to use a pretty decent amount. Pretty good handful.
So it's a good tablespoon and a half.
Yeah, 1.5, 2 tablespoons. Sprinkle that in there. That's going to help break down all the fat and all the other stuff that's stuck in the cavity of the chicken. And then I'm going to go with my white pepper. I like the flavor of the white pepper, and it also doesn't leave a bunch of black specks on the outside of it. But when you're doing chicken, I just feel like you have to have the black pepper. You have to. It works really well for the gravy at the end.
Krista says, no worries. We have 2 doggies. What kind of doggies do you have, Krista?
A Yorkie and a Dachshund? Am I correct? Because I know Josie has Willow. She looks like a black lab.
Let us know.
So I'm going to put a decent amount of onion powder in there also. Probably about that much because I'm going to let this sit overnight. So
that's probably about 2 tablespoons.
Yeah, about 2 tablespoons. Put that in there. Get out of there, spices. And my smoked paprika.
She says close. A Pomeranian and a Dachshund.
Oh.
Aww.
And I'm going to use my Hungarian paprika, which I love. It's one of my favorite paprikas that I have. The other one that I like is a sweet smoked Spanish paprika. So we're just going to put that in there. Turn our hands a bunch of different colors. And now I need fresh garlic. A lot of people like to use garlic powder. I kind of don't, because the fresh garlic will give you the oils from the garlic. I need to get it out of the fridge though.
Krista wants to know where you find your paprika.
I actually get it from a place called Savory Spice. There's a bunch of them kind of local to my area. Yep, get the butt. Clean it up. And this is my favorite garlic. You can tell by the size of it. So this is one of the, most of the time, 3 or 4 cloves. It's elephant garlic. It has a much smoother garlicky taste. It's not harsh and bitter. So I'm going to chop that up. All right, come on, Peanut. Get out of there. Why does everybody got to be in this corner?
She says, okay, I'll have to check that out. I can't find it in the grocery stores around here. That's a shame. Paprika's awesome.
Yeah, that's my base for a lot of things. It kind of brings out the brown color, and like if you're grilling or if you're searing something. I'm actually in the Spice Club, and you know, everybody I know gets me one, so I have enough for the next 4 years now.
But you get a bunch of spices and a recipe every month. It's something different. For example, and then it has the recipe on the back, and then it comes with all the spices that you would need to make the recipe, and then it tells you what else you would need from the grocery store, like olive oil and lemons and stuff.
And most of the time they give you enough to almost do 2 dinners when you get it. And sometimes you get a bonus spice. It'll be to make maybe a dip, or it'll be to make a barbecue sauce, or
like a salad dressing,
a vinaigrette. And the one that I didn't use was the one to make a herb butter. It was an Italian mixed packet for herb butter, so that was really nice. But I never used it because I get these every 2 weeks because everybody buys me one. So
she says, "That's cool. I need to pick some good Hungarian I need to pick up some good Hungarian paprika." I don't know why I couldn't get that one out. Goodness.
Yeah, sound like me sometimes.
I'm sure it wasn't the wine I drank earlier.
No, it had nothing to do with that at all. So, I'm hoping everybody out there would know how to mince garlic if they don't have a garlic mincer. This is about finger wide, just because I'm going to be soaking it overnight, so it doesn't have to be real small. But even if you made bigger chunks, you can still eat it. Like I said, it's not real brutal like all the other ones. So, you know, you cut your lines that way and then you go through and cut it. I'm actually going to make this a little bit smaller, so I'm going to fillet in. I'm using one of my favorite knives. It's a Mustafa knife, and it's a vegetable knife. So as you cut, these holes allow air to get in. It kind of helps with like potatoes. They won't stick to the blade because this little ridge pops it off. And it works good for like cucumbers and some of your more hard vegetables. So now we'll just go through and we'll mince this up.
She says, LOL, they say you should store paprika in the fridge or even in the freezer. Have you heard that?
I have, but I use enough of it to where it's not an issue.
It stays fresh.
Yeah. So now I'm just going to put the garlic straight in. And now I got to get to my other part. Now, as you can see, if you have a nice sharp knife, you can just fillet it. Or you can cut strips and then do it like a normal mincing, like you would like a parsley or a thyme or something like that. And that's another reason I like this, because it is really oily, so it gives a lot of flavor in everything that you cook it in. And if you're using it in a saute, it actually helps oil and flavor the whole thing.
Krista, I'm curious, is Throb the chef in the house, or are you? So what else other than garlic are you going to use for your brine?
Well, I still have to put the apple cider vinegar in there. I have the salt, the pepper, and paprika, white pepper, onion powder. If I was going to do this for a long brine for 3 or 4 days, I would have put fresh onions in there. And I would have probably put some like cracked mustard seeds, but that would have only been if I was putting it in my smoker.
Cool. Krista says that she's the chef. I'm pretty sure you're awesome. I'm kind of curious. Krista, is there any dishes that are traditional to Canada that aren't to America?
I was just going to ask that.
Were you?
I was going to ask what is different in Canada other, than the regular stuff that we get, because we're so close. But I know that there's a lot of different flavors up in Canada. I mean, I love Polish and Irish food. You give me meat, potatoes, and onions and sauerkraut, I'm good to go. So.
I bet they have a lot of moose up there. I've never had moose.
Didn't your brother just get an elk?
Yes, he did.
Yeah. I'm going to use a little bit of apple cider vinegar. I'm probably going to use about 1.5 cups or so. 1.5 cups, 2 cups. The vinegar and the salt's going to help break everything down. And the next thing that I know a lot of people don't think of when it comes to chicken, I actually use Worcestershire sauce.
Worcestershire.
Yeah, the Worcestershire, yeah. And this is just going to help give the chicken a little bit of color. And I like the
tang and the
yeah,
hotness to it.
Yeah, it's going to add a different element like the vinegar does. But you're only going to need about 1/4 cup of it or so. And then we stir it, because we want to make sure everything... Hey, what's going on?
See what I was getting ready to do?
That spoon's not going to work. That's something I would do.
Yeah, that's something you would do. Jeez. I have too much stuff.
So.
All right, what do we got? Oh, poutine. Did I pronounce that right?
Or was that Powtine? I don't know. And butter tarts.
Oh, butter.
The Caesar is a Canadian alcoholic drink. Oh, you did. Good job. I did not.
Yay!
I'm not so good with my English. Spelling, pronunciating, punctuation, none of that. But that's okay.
So that is most of what I'm going to be putting in there. Tomorrow morning, I'll check it. I'll pick it up and I'll flip it over because I want to make sure that, because right now it's sitting on the bottom. So I'll flip it, and then that way it'll make sure that the brine gets in. And I'll kind of like swirl it around a little bit so it goes in and out and cleans up the inside. It'll also help all the stuff that broke loose from the vinegar and the salt. It's going to help get that out of the way. And I'm sure I'm going to do a video when I cook this because
it's going to be so delicious.
yes.
I can't wait. It smells like vinegar and Worcestershire in here. Oh, we got Vince. What's up?
Hey, Vince. How you doing? Yeah, you see, I can actually go live. It was just me being ignorant / illiterate and not knowing what I had to do. I don't have it set up on the desktop or my computer yet, but the phone was so much easier. Just log into the app and hit the little camera button. So I can see why you guys do a lot of live chats with the phone. It's so much easier. So, so Vince, what's going on with the outdoor show? Or I asked N3QDZ, or Matt as we know him, and he said Saturday the 3rd. Is that am I right on that? Or are you going to be there? What time are you going to be there? Did Nick decide to go? Are you definitely going?
Vince said, going live. The struggle is real. Krista said, I subscribe to you, so now I'll get alerts when you are live. Yay! Thanks, Krista.
Thank you. The funny thing is, I actually subscribe to you too. And Krista, I don't think you have any videos because you don't. You don't with Rob. So, yeah, I just thought it was funny. I'm like, oh, Krista Green Beans. I got to see that when I go into my channels. Anybody have any questions? Vince?
Yeah, I know, Vince, you just got on, but
yeah.
But here you go in case you didn't get to see what's got lots of stuff in there.
Were you going to be going opening day? Because we're considering going opening day and the day after. We're possibly considering spending that night up in Harrisburg, and then coming back home because our dog doesn't. He probably wouldn't tolerate too well for 12 or 14 hours, and I would probably have too much fun wanting to go back the next day and be mad that we didn't. So I'm probably just going to buy the weekend pass or a 2-day pass or, you know, a lose my wife pass.
Hey,
or...
hey.
So.
If it's Super Bowl weekend, I'm probably not going to make that. Is that Super Bowl weekend? I don't know.
Isn't the Super Bowl in No, wait.
I think it was 2 weeks last time I heard, but I don't remember how long ago that was.
Yeah, so you wouldn't make it down for that Saturday or that Sunday, huh? Because I believe Matt is still, I believe he's still going on that Tuesday. So are you going to try and go the next weekend? Oh, look, they're all sleeping. Until I talk to them.
Yes. Not this weekend, but next is the Super Bowl. Thank you for the update on that, Krista.
Yeah,
He said he'll probably go during the week, and he can go the following weekend.
Oh, all right. Then maybe we need to get in touch with Matt and maybe tell Matt what the plans are. Maybe we can all go the following weekend. I guess that's the 11th through the 13th.
We got Flying Gatto in the house. What's up, Gatto?
Hey, Gatto, how you doing? Yeah, I'm trying live for the first time, so this ought to be very exciting. As you can tell, I have crazy cats too.
Just sit there. He said he'll definitely connect with Matt.
Yeah, because I mean, I would like to meet up with all you guys, and
Vince says, love the cats. Gatto says, haha, I wish my cat did that.
Well, unfortunately, our one cat has cancer, and the other one he's our redheaded stepchild. He doesn't like anybody unless it's on his own terms. Yeah, that one. Gatto, are you going to be going to the outdoor show in Harrisburg? Because you're not too far from it. You're probably, about half hour, 45 minutes away?
Okay, we've got Vince. Oh boy, sorry. And then we have Gatto. Next time you go live, put in landscape mode for better effect. Thanks for the tip.
Thank you. Yeah, I actually said, all right, I'm going to do this live. I said, all right, we go into my app, go live, title, oh, look, we're live now.
And then he said, Flying Gatto said, what's the outdoor show?
It's like it's everything outdoor. You can buy cabins there. Cabins, RVs, boats, campers.
Hunting gear, fishing gear.
Guns. Guns. Woohoo! I was already told not to ask to buy anything.
Oh my goodness. Not
it,
true. We're looking out for some camping stuff because we have a camping trip in September.
I can buy the stuff that the wife wants to use. So
whatever.
Not just play toys for me.
He said, "Oh my, I'm interested."
Yeah, there's guns, fishing.
Don't they have like classes or seminars or something like that?
Yeah, I believe they have like a 250,000 gallon fishing tank. They're gonna have like the dog fetch jump contest where they jump off the platform into the water. If you want to buy a bow or anything, they have like live archery where you can shoot bows and everything. Oh yeah, we all need guns, definitely. I don't live in the best part of town, but you live in the best part of town for guns, because, I mean, you can like feed yourself off of everything in your backyard. I mean, it's amazing the pictures that we see with your cars. Most of the time, I don't look at the cars. I'm looking to see what's in the background. I'm looking for a deer or maybe even a bear, because I mean, you're up in bear permit territory up there, so. Oh yeah, Vince, you are all excited about them alpaca socks, aren't you? I mean, I swear that you're just going to drive 2.5 hours to get some $40 wool alpaca socks. Oh yeah, bear tracks, definitely. I think you're right on the edge of where they start the permits for New Jersey side. There's a lot, and now bear permit isn't a lottery anymore. They do still have lottery tags for the events for before the season actually opens. I think it's a 2-day permit.
Gatto had to shoot 4 woodpeckers so far this winter. That's unfortunate.
Oh,
were they tearing some trees up?
Yeah, I'm sure they're probably going to get in your garages and everything too, and getting your soffits and all that kind of stuff. I mean, if you have problems with your soffits in the garages, get in touch with Vince over at VCG. He'll take care of them for you.
And we've got Krista.
Oh, you're
Gatto,
siding.
You got bear? Gatto. Yeah, I've seen 3 bears dead. Oh, what did it say? One way. I've seen 3 bears dead by the side of the road. Jiminy crickets.
Oh, a Gamma Whisper there. That would definitely work. I mean, that's at about 1150 FPS. I actually have a real cheap brake barrel that I got for like 29 bucks, but it takes out groundhogs and everything in my backyard, except for skunk. I don't know if you guys have ever shot a skunk, but it just bounces off their fur.
The woodpeckers were going through a sighting. So Vince wants to hear more about your brine.
You want to hear about the brine?
So you want to tell him what's in it?
Well, I start with the basic brine, which is a salt and pepper. I use 2 different peppers. I use white pepper and black pepper, but when I use the black pepper, I use fresh cracked black pepper or peppercorns in and my mortar and pestle. So this works really good for any of your dry spices. Just crack them up a little bit, and then if you kind of brown them a little bit, it works really well. I use my regular sea salt. I also use onion powder. I use my hickory smoked sea salt to give it a little bit of flavor. My favorite is my Hungarian paprika. And I put fresh garlic in it, Worcestershire sauce, which I know a lot of people think it doesn't go with chicken, but it works really well. Gives it that little bit of tang, and it works real well when you make the gravy. It gives it a little bit of bitterness to it. And I also used apple cider vinegar. And that'll sit in overnight. Tomorrow I'll stir it again. I'll flip the chicken because right now it's sitting on the bottom. So I want to make sure that it brines all the sides. I'll like swish it around a little bit to get all the loose bits out of the inside of the chicken cavity. So that way when I do a final rinse on it before I put it in the oven, it'll be nice and clean for me.
So that's the garlic chunks floating on the top.
And that garlic isn't just regular garlic, it is elephant garlic. The head of garlic is about the size of your fist. I love it. It's a nice it's a sweeter garlic to where you can eat it. Yes, Chris, the mortar and pestles work really well, especially if you're using a lot of like mustard seed, coriander seeds, fennel seed. It really brings out the flavor before you toast it in a clean pan, like if you were going to make a broth or something. I enjoy it. Let's see. I missed it. Yes, I'm using 2 phones, so she's watching and I'm trying to keep up. I now understand your guys' struggle with comments. Yeah, I am horrible. So... Gatto, the cooking will be tomorrow. If you want me to do that live, that's fine, but you're going to be on a tripod looking at my oven for about 2.5 hours.
Tell them how you're going to cook it.
I'm going to put it in the oven and basically cook it like a turkey, but I'm going to put a bunch of vegetables and everything in there. I'm going to put carrots in there. I'll put more garlic in it when I cook it. It'll probably be like half cloves. And right near the end, I'm going to put probably about a pound of mushrooms around it. And I'll probably put some potatoes in there and carrots. And then when we get done, everything that we don't eat, we'll use some, we just add some chicken stock to it and we'll make chicken noodle soup with egg noodles. It'll come out real good for a leftover. Same thing, but a different flavor and a completely different meal for the next day. Because, you know, you got to have bread and butter. I mean, butter.
Okay, so we've got... Vince says, elephant garlic is very mild.
It is.
He also said, awesome live stream. You guys are doing great. Thanks, Vince.
Thanks. We're trying.
We're definitely trying.
Yeah.
Carissa said, the more garlic, the better. I thought it was more butter, the better. I'm just saying.
Buttered garlic is fine for me. I mean, that would, any kind of seafood would work great. Hey, Vince, remember when I was up at your shop? I forgot who it was. I think it might have been Matt. He was talking about a beer, and Nick never heard of it. Well, since you guys talked about it, I now had to go out and get some. It's the Arrogant Non-Fathered Ale.
You're ridiculous.
I don't want to not be able to be monetized. So, I like it. You know, since you guys brought it up, I had to go out and buy some. So, that's going to be the dinner beer. Yep. So.
Gato says you guys are doing great for the first time. We appreciate your support.
Thank you. You know, it's a lot easier when you're not fake and you just roll with it and you just do whatever comes naturally. So, but I figure it would also give you guys a little bit of insight on what kind of a person, you know, I am. So it can only help or possibly hurt depending on how many of these I had before I started my live stream. Which, by the way, Gato, I was impressed. You actually put lime in your gin and tonic. I was very surprised at that. But I could see how that would go well.
Vince agrees with Krista about the garlic.
Oh, yeah. I get in trouble because when I make roasted vegetables, I'll put 3 or 4 heads of garlic in there. And I'll just eat the cloves of garlic. And, yeah, Courtney doesn't really like me too much after the fact.
Yeah.
But she smells like it too, so it's all right.
Vince said, arrogant, non-fathered, you're not worthy. But he was just kidding. Gato may go to the show solo, February 5th and 6th. Arrogant, non-fathered is good. Yes,
it is. Actually, everything the company makes is pretty good. If you like more of a hoppier, bittery beer. One of my favorite beers, which is actually brewed up near Gato, that they don't make anymore. It's it was from River Horse. It was called Hopalotamus. If anybody knows what River Horse is, they have a bunch of funny names, and their logo is actually a hippo. So, for my birthday one year, we went up there for a tour, and I liked it.
It was fun.
Yeah, we were at Sam Adams in in the spring.
Yeah, it was so funny because when we went, it was the night after Oktoberfest.
It was November 1st, yeah.
And they were completely hungover.
Yeah, they went home for like 3 hours. They came back. There were smashed pumpkins and everything out back. It was fun.
So Flying Gato said it's all about the lime.
You know what? Lime is good. Especially if it's in a mango salsa.
Or a fish taco.
Yes, I will agree.
Vince said he's going to check them out.
Yeah, they're good. They're a little bit on the pricey side, but I mean, isn't any microbrewery? I got in trouble because I don't know if you guys know, but Courtney comes from Oregon or Oregon or Oregon.
Listen, say it right.
Oregon. And she grew up about a half hour out of Portland?
Yep, 45 minutes.
And Portland is the microbrewery capital of the world. Now, mind you, I
don't like beer, sorry.
Yeah, Courtney don't like beer at all. You give her cider, if it was like the cider capital of the world, she'd be fine.
Yeah.
We went out there, and you know how you get the little flights, you get 3 or 4 here, 3 or 4 there? We went into one, they brought out a school tray with 24 different beers on it. And I'm like, all right, well, this is a good start to the day. And this was like 11 o'clock in the afternoon, and by the time we got through the first block, I don't remember the rest after that.
Oh, goodness. We have Krista. She said, my neighbor gave me 3rd generation garlic from Italy. I planted a bunch, so hopefully they will grow come spring. I hope they do. That's really exciting to get something special like that.
Oh, yeah, I would love it. Another thing you guys might want to look into is black garlic. If you really like garlic, if You get the black garlic and you put it in with a little bit of like really soft butter. You mix it up. Black garlic is actually black garlic, but it's really soft like butter. If you get that and you spread it on bread and then you put it in your oven, it'll spread really even and really easy. It doesn't look too appetizing because your bread is black on the top because the garlic's black, but it has a real sweet taste to it, and the texture is almost like peanut butter. So they actually make that in southern New Jersey. It's one of the biggest fields that we have over here on the East Coast.
Fine, Gatto's on his way out. He's got to go pick up Jane from the bus station. Thanks for joining us, Gatto.
All right, thanks, Gatto. And I wish Jane would be able to come to the outdoor show with you, but I'm sure everybody's busy, and it's definitely last minute for you. It's 2 weekends from now, and then the third weekend from now. I think it goes from the 3rd to the 13th.
Something like that.
So, yeah.
Gatto said prior to that, if you like beer festivals, you have to go to the Megan Brewery Festival. I'm probably saying that wrong.
I'll definitely have to check that out. Last year we went to Oktoberfest on South Street over at Brew House over. Yeah, it was South Street, right? It was like
it was South Street.
It was the 700 block. You go in and it's like beer and sausage for everyone. It was great.
So fun.
It was great.
He said that there's a cider fest in Philly, and it's amazing too. So, Vince, you grew up off of Oregon Avenue in South Philadelphia, huh? I know exactly where that's at.
You have a friend that lives there, don't you?
I do. Oh, good old Philly boy.
Yeah?
Carissa says, that sounds fantastic. Vince at Gatto. Omegan makes a good beer. I'm probably saying that wrong.
Yeah, let me see the...
Oh.
Eh. Oh, no.
It's hard to multitask.
I thought women were supposed to be good at
Well,
that.
I am, but I was actually doing like 4 things at once.
Oh, okay. Do. Yeah, I don't know the name of that one, but now I'm gonna have to go out and buy some and drink it. Because I love beer. I mean, there's heart healthy things for it. I mean, not liver healthy, but heart healthy things. It's like wine. Everything good is bad for you in one way or another. So, all right, we have anything else, guys? Let me see here. Yeah, Gatto, I believe you're right. I think that is. I believe that is it. It starts Super Bowl weekend, as we were just informed, and then it goes to the weekend after. Vince said he's going to try and get through the week, go through that week, and maybe the following weekend. So I'm hoping to see a bunch of people there so we can all get together and, have fun. So, what are you doing, Bailey? Oh, you're jumping up to get me. You want to dance? Come on. So, anybody else have any more questions about my brine? Or my cooking? Or me?
You guys want to know what we're eating for dinner tonight? Oh, we got a tundra question.
Right.
Hold.
Okay, I'm holding.
I thought Tundra Drew was going to the car show.
Actually, Tundra Drew will be doing I think he decided he might be going to the Philly car show. He wasn't exactly sure yet, but I think he will be. And I know that he's trying to get Atco in the spring, I think. So, for a meet and greet. But that's still up in the air. I'm hoping it'll happen because there's a lot of people that are local that would like to meet him, me included. And I know you, Vince, you want to get out there to meet him. You really want to have a meet and greet with him and a collab. So
Vince wants to know what we're having for dinner.
You want to know what we're having for dinner? All right, let's see. There we go. You know what? I'm having a hard time with that, so I'm just going to do it like that. I'm going to make steaks on the grill. It's a little late, but I mean, it's never late for grilled steaks, right?
He said that they had sausage and broccoli rabe.
Ah, you know what? That sounds really good.
Yes, it does. We're actually probably gonna have broccoli with this too. Broccoli and baked potatoes.
Yeah. Courtney's a big fan of like broccoli rabe and rhubarb. She likes rhubarb crisp a lot.
How are you gonna put them in the same sentence? I'm just wondering.
Well, I'm just saying it.
Okay.
It's
I like every vegetable except for okra. You have to hide that, or I will not eat it. I loathe that vegetable.
Yeah, she doesn't like okra, but she likes gumbo. Figure that one out.
It's because it's hidden.
Oh, it's because it's hidden.
Yes.
Vince loves okra.
No. It's not my favorite.
You know, there's something about a slimy vegetable. It's almost like you didn't do it right.
It's like eating aloe. Ugh.
Actually, aloe is really good for your intestinal tract.
Doesn't mean I want to eat it.
Okra fish stew. Now, see, that sounds good.
It does sound pretty good.
Yeah, I could definitely do that. The slime would thicken it, so yeah.
That would give a good flavor too.
Yeah, it would. It would
I don't
definitely.
mind the flavor of okra. I just can't get past the slime.
Yeah, a lot of people can't.
But I will say, if we're talking about slimy stuff, I had snails for the first time over Christmas, and they were amazing.
So has anybody else had escargot?
So delicious. Didn't think I would like them either, because I don't like mussels. And I thought that they would be about the same thing, but they weren't.
Thanks, Vince. Yeah, I'm hoping to have a good dinner as soon as we get off here.
Smash that like button. You're funny. All right, well.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us, guys.
Yep, and there. All right, good night, Vince. Yeah, there's definitely going to be more live videos coming up now that I'm not illiterate or as illiterate.
Special. You're special.
Yes, I'm a special kind of special.
Yeah.
So, and I don't think Courtney notices that the whole time the camera's on her, not me.
I do. It's right there. I can see it. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, any other questions? Anything else? And if not, we will let you go.
Anything.
Good night. Thanks for joining us, Krista.
Yeah, thanks,
for
Krista.
coming, Vince. You guys enjoy your night.
Yeah, I'll definitely. Hey, Vince, when's this like feature length movie coming out about the pack out and the other one? I keep forgetting the name. I mean, you've been sending out teasers for like a month now. You know, I'm really waiting for to find out when we're going to be getting this full-length video. It's not even a full-length video. It's going to be a movie. Hey, there she is. All right, guys. Well, thank you for tuning in, and have a nice night, and we'll see you next time. I'm looking forward to doing this more often. So I'm going to go eat now because she's hungry. Yeah. All right. See you guys.